Hey everyone, welcome to the UIUC Talkshow. Our goal is to introduce you to the ideas and the people that are around you at UIUC, but you either forgot to introduce yourself or really haven't had the time to find those people. So our goal is to make those connections for you and introduce you to them. So in this first video that we're making, we want to make this video as a way first to introduce ourselves, but also tell you a little more about why we're doing this and our goals towards the future. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Aaryaman.
And what's your role and why are we doing this and how do we meet?
All right, so I'm working with Juan David, and we had this idea one day to make this podcast / YouTube channel for having interesting conversation with people. We think that there are a lot of people on this campus that have some really good ideas and some really good thoughts that should be shared with people, but currently there isn't any medium that exists through which people can do that. So our efforts here are in trying to bridge that gap and bring all that knowledge and thoughts to the people of the world. Whoever's watching these videos, we hope they gain something out of it and learn something new. We genuinely believe that we can have some really interesting conversations with people and go to places that were unheard of, or something you wouldn't usually talk with someone about, which is something that we're trying to embody through this initiative. So we'll be talking with professors, friends, any random people we meet on the street, because we believe that everyone has a story to tell, and it's just about asking the right questions and having the patience to listen and appreciate those stories, and you would be able to learn and gain a lot out of it.
And having fun, obviously.
Exactly.
And I do think that, like for me, for example, I'm the most, of myself, I'm the happiest and most excited when I'm having a really interesting conversation with someone. It's deep, but also not super deep about what's the, what do you think about this thing? No, it's more something that your brain is thinking, but also feels good. It's some random thing that usually doesn't happen because we're so busy doing homework and doing this and that, and we sort of forget why we're here. And I think probably the only one of the biggest reasons why most people are here is because of the quote unquote the people and meeting people and so on. But I don't think a lot of people are actually meeting each other. And if they are, it's sort of a surface level. And through this medium, we want you to showcase these amazing people we have around us that we just don't know. And really, I would really encourage you guys to, if you see a professor or a student that is oh, this guy's cool, send them an email, because I'm sure they also want to talk to you and just have fun. And then beyond that, all the other reason why we're doing this is because it's just cool. We want to do it because we ourselves we feel that is a problem, and we ourselves want to do it. As much as we're doing it to help and sort of make those connections, we're also doing it for ourselves because we think it's fun, and we think that we can actually create a lot of value and actually be fun. And so that's what we want to do in terms of our goals in the future of what we want to do. Like I said, the first thing that is going to be is have fun. A lot of these conversations are cool. So far, we've had a couple that we'll be releasing in a couple of weeks, and they're fun. And we really get to see in the eyes of the people that wow, I want to keep talking to you. And sometimes we're that's great, but we need to cut it because we need to do something else, or we have another guest coming. So it's just really generally fun. And what we're optimizing for is interesting ideas and interesting stories per minute. we only want things that are interesting and things that you wouldn't really think about, that you think are like a little out there, and that really make you think and change your perspective. Because what you do in college is really what will change and inform the habits that you will be for years to come. And do you have anything to say about like future goals or anything like that?
So for future goals, I would say we get to talk to as many people on campus as we can. Right now we have a considerable list of people, the both of us combined, want to talk to, because we, like, in our busy lives, we don't get the time to have those conversations with those people. But through this initiative and just this effort, we're trying to see if we can bring out those conversations and have something to think about at the end of the day, because that's all this is, something that can make you think differently and self-reflect in a way that, wow, okay, I never thought about this in this way. How can I inculcate this, or how can this improve my life right now? So yeah, we don't have any very definite future goals, but we're definitely very excited for our future.
And yeah, I mean, it's like day to day we're like so head down and like studying, and at the end it's like, whoa, time just like went by, and like, what happened? Like, I want to have more interesting ideas, and like, the purpose of college should be this: exploring ideas, no matter if they're crazy or they're useless. Exploring ideas for its own sake, and hopefully we can make this medium. And we're starting with a show, and hopefully we can expand into more things that we don't necessarily know, but we're trying. We're trying. And so to end, we'll end of how we met and how our relationship has grown a little bit. And so Aaryaman actually used to live in my hall. We used to live in ISR, and it was funny because talking about interesting ideas and everything. So I first met him, and he told me like, oh, I come from India, and like I want to do sustainable energy, and I'm doing mechanical engineering because I think that could help me with that and that. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. I've never talked to anyone like that, as like that not only has his goal but also like wants to make it happen, because a lot of us are like, oh, I want to be an engineer and have a job, and like that's great. But this guy was like, you really had the thing of like, I want to do engineering, but I also want to like work on this specific challenge. So I thought it was cool. And then I was like, hey, let's get dinner or something. So we actually got dinner like the week of, and we actually talked for like 2-3 hours about like our goals, like life, physics, and it was a really fun conversation. That's where the relationship started. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is very accurate. So something I want to say about Juan David is I've never met a guy like him before. So I was.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. So I was genuinely curious, and actually enjoyed having those conversations, because I don't meet many people with the ability to have these conversations with. So just as we like got to know each other and explore this stuff more, we realized that there is something that we both want to do, and we find these conversations interesting, and we want to continue having them with as many people as possible. So I would like to thank Juan David for igniting that spark in me, like reigniting that spark in me, because I was always more focused on my academics, and I didn't really think about my interests that much. So having someone who pushed me in that direction, who just gave me that little nudge I needed to actually do something about it, is something that I really appreciate, and I look forward to working with him.
Yeah, and listen, all of this that you see that it looks amazing, that's all him. And I'm really like for me, like if it was because of me, I'm like totally the opposite. I probably would have done it in my phone and like just hit record or whatever. But this guy is super detailed, and that's something I don't have, and I think that's where we complement each other. Because I'm very much like, we have an idea, let's go get it. and sometimes I'm not very good with the details, which is why I'm probably not a very good student. But I'm excited, and lastly here is that we hope that these conversations are, sure, we want them to be helpful and fun and everything, but at the end of the day, we want you to show that there's another way to live and to think. Like, college isn't just about getting a job, right? Like, college was supposed to be a time where, for me, how I generally think about it is that college is supposed to be a time to explore ideas, to make mistakes, to learn what you want to do with your life. And what I've seen and what I've experienced is that that's not what it is at all. Like, college has become a place where you just go, it's sort of like a combination of like a liberal arts school where you basically like you go there to like learn how to think, and trade school where you literally go there to get skills. And in the last few years, we've seen colleges just become like trade schools, like just like skills. Like, you need to do this to get a job, and like everything's like a job focused thing. And that's not what I want college to be. And that's probably why I struggle with these questions, and why I've had some interesting interaction with professors that probably hate me now. But it just, there is another way. There is an alternative, and again, that's really hard to describe. But we want to use this to show you that alternative. That life is fun, life is exciting, and the meaning of all of it is that if you find the meaning through your work, if you find things that you want to do, and if you find people that you want to be with, there's really nothing else that will give you more joy and everything. Because a lot of us don't know what we want to do. A lot of us, any age, a lot of us don't know what we want to be with and everything, and we just sort of like forgot to ask those questions. But those questions are actually, quote unquote, askable. We can ask those questions and actually find the answer. So, yeah, I'm excited. Mr. Aaryaman here. It's amazing with all of this, and I'm sure it's gonna get better as we make our videos and we make more interesting conversations, because he is really the master of all of this. So he's a true engineer. So while I'm not so much, but so thank you so much. I hope you keep watching. I hope you keep giving us feedback. I hope you guys are patient, because I'm sure we're gonna make mistakes, and you're just part of it. So, any final thoughts?
No. So you summed it up.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you next time.